All right, so we're going to look at multiplying positive and negative numbers here. First, this is just a recap from the last lesson, adding and subtracting decimals. So we've got negative 172.3 minus 52.65. So it's a negative and it's a minus, so you actually are going to add them together. So if I just add 52.65, so once again, because they are both negative, same sign, because you can change this to a plus a negative. So now 5 plus 0 is 5, 6 plus 3 is 9. Bring down my decimal, 2 plus 2 is 4, 5 plus 7 is going to be 12. And then carry the 1, so that would be negative. So your total outcome would be negative 224.95. Okay, likewise here we've got a positive and we're minusing a negative. If you rewrite this as an addition problem, you've got 547.34 plus 473.12. So we can just add those together once again. So once again, you're going to line up everything, and then you can just add. 4 plus 2 is 6, 3 plus 1 is 4. Bring down my decimal. 7 plus 3 is 10, carry the 1. 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 1 is 12. And 5 plus 4 plus 1 is 10. And so there we have it. This one's going to be positive. Okay. So negative numbers. It says if there are an odd number of negative numbers, the number is negative. So this is talking about multiplying numbers, positive and negative numbers. So if it's a positive times a negative, there is one negative number, which is an odd number. Therefore, the outcome is going to be negative. Same with division. Negative divided by a positive is going to be a negative. Positive times a positive times a negative is going to be a negative. Once again, there's one negative, which is an odd number of negative numbers. And then the last one, a negative divided by a negative divided by a negative. And once again, division and multiplication are the same thing. They're just one undoes the other. So both rules are going to apply for both of them. So you have 3 negative numbers. That's an odd number of negatives. So your outcome is going to be negative. So today we're really only going to be focusing on the multiplying. So come over here. You've got 5 times a negative 2. There is one negative number. Therefore, the outcome is going to be negative. However, you're still going to treat this just like 5 minus 2. Your outcome is just going to be negative. So 5 times negative 2 is just going to be negative 10. The next one, negative 7 times 12. Once again, one negative. The outcome is going to be negative. So 7 times 12 is going to give you negative 84. Okay, then negative 8 times negative 3. So now you have an even number of negatives. When you have an even number of negatives, your outcome is going to be positive. So 8 times 3 is 24. And this kind of goes with this next little picture here. It says if there are an even number of negative numbers, the answer is positive. So a negative times a negative is a positive. A negative divided by a negative is positive. If you have a negative times a positive times a negative, there are 2 negatives, which is an even number of negatives. Therefore, your outcome is going to be positive. So that's what this shows right here. The negative 8 times negative 3. Your outcome is going to be positive. 8 times 3 is 24. All right, next one, you've got negative 2 times 5 times negative 4. Once again, you have an even number of negatives. So there's 2. So it's just going to be 2 times 5, which is 10. 10 times 4, which is 40. All right, now we've got negative 643 times 52. So now we're just going to go through the steps to multiply. So I'm going to bring it over 643. That's a negative times 52. So remember, when multiplying multi-digit numbers, you're going to multiply everything by the ones place, add a 0, multiply everything by the tens place. So 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 6 is 12. So that's everything, that's that number 2 times. Now, we've got 50 here, we got to multiply by 50, so we just bring the 0 down, and then we multiply now everything by 5. So 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus the 1, drop the 1, carry the 2. 5 times 6 is 30, plus the 2 is 32. Okay, we've got everything figured out. Now we can add what 643 times 2 is and what 643 times 50 is. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 8 plus 5 is going to give us 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is going to be 4. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then there's nothing to add to the 3, so you get 33,436. And since we had an odd number of negatives, your outcome is going to be negative. Okay, here we'll do 2 more. So negative 456 times 72. So once again, there's an odd number of negatives. Your outcome is going to be negative. Otherwise, we're just going to take everything or multiply everything the same as if they were just regular whole numbers. So once again, you multiply 456 by 2, then we'll multiply everything by 70. So 2 times 6 is 12, carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus the 1 is 11. Carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Okay, now move on to the 70. So we bring a 0 down, now we just multiply everything by 7. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 4 is going to be 39. Bring the 3. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 3 is going to be 31. Okay, once again, we're just going to add everything together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 times 2 is, 2. That doesn't look quite right. 9 plus 9 is 18. Drop the 8, carry the 1. That 1 plus 2 should be 3, not, I did times. There we go. Alright, so that's 18, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then there's nothing to add to the 3. So this one becomes 32,832. Now we have one negative, so the outcome is going to be negative. Alright, and our last one here, you've got negative 52. Once again, there's no dot to mean multiplication, but there is a parentheses around the negative 34. Anytime you have a number next to a number in parentheses, that's going to mean you're multiplying those two values. So we've got an even number of negatives, so your outcome is going to be positive. So once again, I set them up. I'm going to multiply 52 by 4, which is in the 1 spot, and then I'm going to multiply 52 by 30. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, now we bring down our 0 because we're moving to the tens place. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. Add these together. 8 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 6 is 6. 2 plus 5 is 7. And then you have the 1. So 1,768. So multiplying mixed numbers, not mixed numbers, multiplying positive and negative numbers, so integers. And I just wanted to go into larger digit numbers, just because when we start getting to decimals, multiplying decimals is going to be a lot like these larger values.